Is the microphone on?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for awesome class today. That was a good one. But I was so out of focus at the class today because I was thinking about...
You have to tell me the news.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Nicole Piper and welcome to Exploring Happiness TV. I have my awesome yoga teacher Marta with me today, and we're here in Kopangang, and she's today gonna tell her story how she transitioned from moving from Portugal because of a stressful life there to Kopangang, Thailand here, and why she became a yoga teacher, and yeah, just her life transition and how she moved with her whole family actually to Kopangang. So welcome, Marta.
Thank you
And
for having me.
Thank you for doing this again. We had some hiccups from yesterday, so we're doing this interview again, and I bet it's gonna be 100,000 times better.
Hopefully.
So, honey, so you were living in Portugal, and you started out being a dancer, and how did it move from there?
Yeah, so I started dancing when I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
I did ballet and jazz in school, after school. And then I went to the university to study dance for 5 years.
Yeah.
I was able to dance in a company for a short time. We had like a very good dancer that was our teacher, and decided to open a company with the people from the university. It was really, really nice. I had like this dream come true of dancing in the biggest stage in Lisbon, which is CCB. It's the cultural center. So it was really nice.
Wow.
And yeah, and I was teaching, and then I started to work in production, like show production first.
Yeah.
And then I was invited to be a photo TV producer so I kind of changed my life many times already.
It sounds like it.
Yes, I'm not afraid of change actually. So yeah, I changed for that. Then I was invited to go to one of the best production companies in Portugal called Garage Films. First as a executive producer assistant, and then changing to post-production director. So this is just before I came here, this is what I was doing. I was there for 4 years, and it was like a very, very stressful life.
Yeah.
So I was my own boss. I owned my time, but on the other hand, I didn't own anything because I was like making 5 movies at a time. I had no time for myself. I never could plan anything, not even like going out with friends. I never knew if that would be possible, because if there was a schedule to deliver something done, until it was done, you had to work. If you didn't sleep, you didn't sleep. If you didn't go home, you didn't go home. So it was like really, really stressful.
So always on the phone.
Always on the phone.
Yeah.
Actually, everybody made a joke when I was pregnant with my first son that my baby was going to be born with this, like phone.
Oh yeah, that was. But
because he didn't. But yes, because I was like all the time on the phone. It was really hard.
Yeah.
But I was really happy with what I was doing. I was really happy. I really enjoyed what I was doing. But it came a point where it was too much, and I needed a change in my life.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So, so tell me a little bit more about that, because now you already told that you have a son and everything, and you actually also met your husband in this stressful period of your life, or not? Maybe you haven't even seen it that stressful. Maybe it was
No. Before it was okay. I was passionate about what I was doing.
Exactly.
I really liked it. It has always in my life. When I do something, I really enjoy, and I give myself 100% to what I'm doing. So it was stressful, but I liked it. I liked to live with that stress actually by the time that happened. So yes, when I met my husband there, he was a location manager, and actually it was a beautiful story because it was like everybody tried to join us together.
Oh yeah.
And every time he came in the building, it was like my heart didn't.
I love that.
with the butterflies in the stomach. So every day I was dressing myself. What am I gonna dress today? And I wanted to impress him. It was so funny. And yes, and we got together, and he's like 1 month after he was moving with me in my house, because I was already had my own apartment, and after 1 year and a half we got married, and then after 1 year and a half we got our first child. Yes.
Wow, so it went very quick, everything.
Yes, when you love someone, I mean, we were always sure that we wanted to be together forever, so why wait?
So now just a question popped to my mind. So did he ask you out?
Actually, I think I did.
Oh, you did? Of course you did.
I think I did most everything.
Power woman. I did the same.
I even asked him to marry me, so I
Oh, did you?
Yes. I don't like to wait too much.
No. Why waste time,
I like to have control in my life.
Oh, so you actually asked it? Did you went down
in Bali? Actually,
you
we talked about it. Yes, when we went in our first holiday together, we did this beautiful tattoo in our feet saying "love above all things," which is our thing that guides our life.
Yeah,
actually.
mantra kind of.
Yes, kind of mantra. We have it also in our wedding ring.
Yeah.
And we really believe that if you have love, then the rest.
Then the rest will come. I think love and faith. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. So let's just roll back a little bit. So you had this. Very stressful life, and you met your husband, you got married, and then you got pregnant, and you were still working the same hours and everything. And so when did the turning point come, kind of? Because when did you decide now it's enough is enough? And why did you kind of want to move to Copenhagen? Because there was this little story.
Yeah,
I love to hear.
It wasn't when I was pregnant. So when I was pregnant, I was pretty okay with it. I worked until the end of pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I really didn't have time to realize that I was pregnant, or just think a lot about it. I had a big belly, and it was just when I bumped into stuff that I remember, oh yes, I'm pregnant. But I worked until 38 weeks, and actually when I talked to my boss and I said, okay, I'm going home, he said, already? And I said, like, what? You have the child here? I worked until 38 weeks.
Wow, and you go to 40 weeks, yeah?
Yeah, normally at 38 is okay to be born. So many kids are born at 38. So it's between 38 and 40. So I worked really until the end, and I was doing the same kind of life. And actually for me it was okay. For my clients were always saying things to me like, you cannot work so much, did you eat, why are you here, it's like midnight or 2 a.m. For me it was okay. It was just the people, in my mind, they were always getting me worried about it, not because I felt bad, because I really felt good, but because you start listening and you're like, oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong, maybe this is not good for the baby or something like that. But in me, I was feeling pretty good, and I did everything until the end. So it was way later when I got back to work, and after a while, when I realized that I didn't have time to my child. So I tried to fit both of the things, same kind of life, same kind of work with my child. And then it was a point where I realized it wasn't possible anymore. And this is how this episode you're talking about.
Because I think it's so important, because there will always be that profound moment where you would just think, okay, now it's time. And I kind of, if you want to share it, that will be...
Sure, yes. So it was, as I said, I was normally getting my kid from school, and I was always working, always on the phone. So even when I got to pick him at school, I was going home, but I was still working all the time on the phone. And he was small. I mean, he was 3 or something, or 2.5 or something like that. And he wanted my attention, of course. And I was talking to a very important client, and I just remember that he was calling me and he was reaching for me, and I really needed to end that conversation. And I could not tell this person that, okay, you have to wait because I have kids, because in this world, this is doesn't matter, you know, for them. They don't want to hear that. They just want you to solve their problems to work things out. So I had to close the door and leave my baby on the other side and close the door and hear my baby knocking on the door. And this was like, my heart just shrank like this size. And then when I hang up the phone, I realized that this is not going to happen anymore. I need to change something in my life. I need to make my priorities come out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this was the moment when I really realized that I had to change something.
Yeah, your heart broke a little bit, a big time.
Yes.
I believe that. Yeah.
Yes.
No.
It's really painful to feel that.
Of course, because how you know, it's your child in there and you work there and you maybe you're still in that mindset, and then suddenly it wakes you up, this little call from your son. Yeah,
for sure.
So
this was the seed. Yes, this was like,
seed.
okay, I need to do something. And actually I've been talking to my husband. We really love to travel, always did, 1 month per year. We always traveled around, even with the kids. I was super inspired by the foreign people traveling with kids, because in Portugal it's not so common. People they do like the vacation in the south of Portugal, you know, they rent a house and they do all kinds. So traveling like without anything booked, it's like, oh no, oh my God, no, not many people do it.
No, not in Europe at all. I think it's scary. It's scary, yeah.
So we did in the first, when he was 1 year, we went to Brazil for a month. When he was 2 years, we went to Bali for a month. With 3 years, we went to, actually here, to Thailand. This is when we decided to move. And with 4 years, we moved here. So, we were used to travel a lot, and we talked about it. We were inspired by people changing, and we talk about this changing life. Yeah.
Cool. And so it took a little bit of transition. You kind of had the fire inside that you know that something had to change, and your husband seemed really open to it. But how was the transition? Because. And what do you do, and how do you make that jump? That was a lot of questions, but this is like, because this is what women sit at home and wait for. They have 2 children, or you have, and a husband, and corporate life, and how do you actually make it to?
So I had 1 child by then.
Oh, it's 1.
But anyways, well, I think the hardest part is to make the decision.
Okay.
You just like for a long time trying to make the right decision. When you make the decision, it's already decided, then it's like, it's easy. Because, you know, you decided already. So now it's just logistic. You just have to know, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
So I think really the hardest part is to make the decision of moving, of changing your life.
And
once you've done
date?
that, yes, the rest is very hard. Actually, we had a funny story on how this decision happened with us, because I really needed to change something, so I decided to send some of my resume to some companies in Brazil, and and I had a friend that works as a flight assistant, and she took me to Brazil, and sometimes they can take people, so
that's true.
we just paid the taxes, and I went with her for 3 days. It was crazy, and I went to some companies that were working in the same kind of line what I was doing in Portugal. So it was not like a change of life, but a change of place.
Yeah.
And I didn't know really what I wanted to do. I just wanted to change. I just thought that if I could change something, it would help me in some way.
Course.
So I went there and I came back, and the moment I came, in the same day I got a phone call saying that they needed me to go and start something in Brazil like 1 week after, you know. It was like, and then my husband just looked at me and he was like, what? No, I don't want to go to Brazil. And I said, so why did you let me go, you know?
Exactly.
Why did you let me go to the interview? So I kind of realized that he wasn't expecting that something happened from there, right?
Yeah,
He just said, yeah, okay, you want to go, you go. And then when something happened, he was like, no, I don't. He freaked out, like, I don't want to go to Brazil. Okay, so let's talk about what do we want.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is how we decided, because
So you freaked him out.
Yes, I freaked him out. And then we said, okay, no, because if we go to Brazil, we're going to have the same kind of life. And this is not what we want. We want to change to a place where we have time for our kids. We have time to live, time to enjoy life, and time for seeing our kids grow. And this was what moved us, and we realized we wanted the same thing. So that was the moment when we decided, okay, so this is what we want. We want to move to a place where we have time and we want to see our kids grow, and we want to change. And so we thought, okay, the only two things that I need for sure in a place is to have a nice hospital, because I'm traveling with my kids, and a nice school, because I really believe that our kids should have the same opportunities that we had. So I don't want that my decisions, of course, will condition his life. So if I would move to a place where there was not a nice school, or there wasn't an English school, he would have to learn the language from the place, and then if we want to move again, it will be hard for him. So two things we needed: one hospital, good hospital, and one good school. So then we traveled here to Copenhagen in holidays, because we had some friends living here.
Oh, that's why.
And we came, and it was easy because we asked everything, like, how do we do a work permit? How do we open a company? How much does it cost? How much money do we need to do something? So we had all this information when we came back to Portugal, and we decided, okay, we want to move there. We gave ourselves 1 year to save some money and to sell everything, quit the jobs, and move.
So you kind of went through, you made the decision, then you kind of made a plan, like roughly how to do it. Then you asked, you got some security about, like, what do we need if we are moving to Thailand or Copenhagen. And then you put a date almost.
We did, and we booked the flight, we did everything. And then we made like a PDF with all our stuff.
Oh, you did?
And we sold everything, but with the condition that the people would only pick the stuff in the moment that we were going away. Because I didn't want to live in a tent or in the middle of a war zone.
No, exactly. I'll just have mattresses on the floor. And
I thought this was important even for my kid. I didn't want him to feel so much of a change or suffering with the changes. So we had everything, the house, everything the same until 1 week before we left. Everything was sold, but everything was with us. And just for the last week, we were like camping a little bit.
How was the feeling actually? Like, because I remember when me and Jens, we decided to get out of there. The feeling of freedom, every piece we sold.
Amazing. It was amazing. We felt so free and so light without having anything, and you realize how many things you get because of the society. You're just convinced that you need them, like, for example, for a car. We were never people like thinking that we need like an amazing car to show off, but even if it's not because of that reason, it's because of your safety, because you need a car that is safe for your kid, blah blah blah. So it's everything in your mind. You always need to buy this and that and that. So when you sell everything, you realize you don't need any of those stuff to be happy. Or so it's amazing. The feeling is amazing, and the only thing that was really really hard for us to sell was our camping car, van. What was we agreed on? Auto camper. Yes, auto camper.
Oh God.
We had one that we bought in Germany. One day we just bought a flight ticket to Germany, me and my husband, before we had kids, and we just travel between 3 places that was selling these cars, and we just bought one, and then we drove it back to Portugal. And we used to do weekends in the south of Portugal, also with my son Vicente. He really enjoyed it. It was amazing. And this was the only thing that was hard for me to sell. All of the rest was
And it's well, it must be because it's like it's written freedom all over it. Because at Auto Camper you can just move around whenever you want and park wherever you want. And
yeah, it's amazing. And as I told you yesterday, it's funny because I thought that my son, that he's now almost 8, but like by then he was 3 or something, and I thought that he didn't have any memories, but he like a few days ago I was asking him, what will you do if you earn a lot of money, what would you buy, and what would you do with your money. And yesterday I didn't tell you, but the first thing he told me that he would do with the money was helping people and his family. It was just the first thing he said. It was really beautiful to hear. He said, I will give money to my family and to the people in need. And then he said something like, because there's kids in the war and they don't have food, and then he was so cute, really.
Oh, that makes me almost cry. Oh, how cute is that?
And after that I said, okay, but and how if you wanted to get something for you, what would you get? And he said,
Auto Camper.
He said an Auto Camper, and I said, wow, that's amazing, because it must be some memories inside, you know. There must be something in his heart to remember about the beautiful moments we had when we had one, because otherwise he wouldn't decide to buy something like that.
No, because
right?
he wouldn't
Because
remember.
here there's nothing like that, and we moved here when he was 4, so, and we can see a lot of those around here.
No, I haven't seen one actually, but I really think it's this. I think because also from my childhood memories, I always remember when we were out doing bonfires or camping or whatever. This is what I remember, the feeling with my parents together, and they were happy, we were happy together, and I think that is what you remember, and that is what is important again.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you remember that feeling and associate it with a camping one, yeah, perfect, beautiful. So I have like one question I think a lot of people have, because you had you had one child and you want to move to Copenhagen. So what about the money situation? Kind of, what did you have like a plan for that, or if you want to?
Yeah, well, I think you always need to have some money, save some money to move, because you need to feel confident, you know. You know, you need to feel that if something happened, if you're not earning any money for 6 months, then you can be okay. Right? So it's not, you don't need a lot of money, but you need some money to feel secure. So let's say like that. So we had this gigantic plan of coming here and buy a resort, which I'm so glad we didn't.
Oh yeah, man, that would have almost been the same again.
Yeah, it was so stupid, you know, because you try to get rid of your mindset, and then you're doing the same things all over again, right?
It's funny,
so we came here and we wanted to be free, and then here we go again buying a resort and putting all this weight again in our backs, because first we didn't have the money to buy a resort, of course, and we realized when we got here that it's so expensive, and then the money, like for less money, you can buy a small resort, maybe with 4 bungalows, but they are all broken, and then you have to do it all again, right? So you need more money to invest. And also because in Thailand you don't own anything, so you need to make like a contract for 10 or 15 or 20 years. So it means again that you will be stuck for all that time in this place doing this thing.
Exactly, and then it's just a contract.
Of course, so it's completely what we didn't want. So we realized that, thankfully, before we did something stupid, so we didn't buy any resort, and so we found a place, we rented, and we opened a restaurant. So we opened a gourmet burger shop, and very good burgers, vintage burgers. So and I was working there, helping my husband. Then he stayed there, and I stopped working there afterwards. So we found a small place, a familiar place where we could like pay the rent, get some money to help us living. But we know that if like 1 month to the other, if we want to leave, if we want to do something else, then we can. You know, you're free to do it if we want.
So you got that freedom still with you. Yes,
I got that freedom with me. And also, about your question, I think you need to have some money. To move, just to be sure that if you have something or whatever, that you can sustain yourself for 6 months.
Exactly.
But then other than that, as I said before, I just think the hardest part is to make the decision, really. Once you've made the decision, it's like you're already there. You just have to know how, okay, book the flight, sell this, sell that, but you are already there because your mind is already there, your heart is already there.
Your heart is on,
Yeah, so I think it's the hardest part. And also thinking, what am I leaving behind, right?
That was so beautiful, yes.
Because people are afraid of moving, of changing their lives, but then when you talk to them and you ask them, okay, so what are you afraid of leaving behind? And they don't know. No. They cannot say because they are not happy with their jobs. Of course, they have the family, that's a big thing, or the friends, another big thing. We talked about it yesterday. But other than that, you know, what is holding people there? And
exactly.
Most of the times it's nothing. They cannot answer the question. So it's just the fear talking for them.
I think so too. And you said it really beautiful also yesterday. Like, if we are not happy with the things we have, what do we have to lose?
Yeah, for sure.
That
what
was
do you have to lose?
so beautiful said. I just want to say again because it's so brilliant. No, so yeah, if you're miserable and everything is shit anyway,
it can only get better.
Exactly.
Right? It can only get better.
Yeah.
You're not losing anything. It's just a fear talking for you. So I would advise everybody to do it. If you're not happy, just go ahead and change.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can do it. I mean, even if it's not your profession, if you're doing something, you can change what you do, you can change the place, you can change everything. Like before we had this idea that, okay, I studied to be this and I have to be this my whole life, you know? With my life, it's completely the opposite. I started with dance, then I stopped dancing and I started doing production. I did very good in everything that I was doing, you know? I was a good professional. I did put a 100% doing what I was doing. And then when I got back here, I opened the restaurant. I started teaching again. I got back to the dance because when I moved here, there was nothing to do. Not like now.
Yes.
There was only yoga. There was no activities at all. So everybody was kind of telling me, you have to start teaching dance because we need some dance. So I started with the Latin rhythms
for the
and
kids,
the jazz. For the big ones, for grown-ups.
Yeah.
And then I started teaching in the school also for the kids.
Yeah.
And I started opening these extracurricular activities for kids twice a week, and now they have like a bunch of activities, so it was helpful for the...
So you start moving them a little bit here.
Yes, and now they have football and rounders, they have all kinds of activities happening now, but before there was nothing. So I got back to the dance, and I opened the restaurant, I mean, and then I started to teach yoga, so you can change, you know, it's if you do it from the heart, if you really dedicate yourself and put 100% of your effort, and if it's coming from the heart, then it's possible.
Yeah.
Of course there's competition and there's people that are doing the same thing that you do for longer, for sure. But I always believe that if it comes from the heart, then you will always have people to follow you and to believe in what you do.
So when you follow your natural self and natural way of what you are natural good at, life becomes a little bit easier too.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of want to, because now we kind of saw the whole transition and how you moved here. But like I said in the beginning, you're a yoga teacher, and there was also a little situation back in Portugal where you actually started your yoga. So so please enlighten us in a little bit in your yoga journey, because this is so interesting too.
So I started doing yoga for me because, as I said, I didn't have time for me at all. I was working 24/7 and my mind was always always, because it was part of my job. I mean, I was receiving calls all the time, and I didn't even write anything before I had my child. Then I was brainless, but before I had, for more or less a year, you get brainless when you have a child. Just
really,
you know,
yes, okay,
yes, of course. Really, when I got back to work, I had to write everything. Really, it was
Really?
my God, because people, they were calling me and saying, "Okay, you have to deliver something." I said, "Yes, yes." Then the other phone rang, and then I was, "Oh my God, I didn't do this!" I was freaking out.
So you get like, because I heard about this
Yes,
phenomenon,
brainless.
you're actually brainless.
Yeah, there's something more important in your life,
Of course
and
it's
so
not.
it's just shifting your attention,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not possible to give attention to the same level to everything. Yeah,
Wow.
so it was like that. But anyway,
Yeah.
before it wasn't. So my mind was like ta 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 all the time, and I started doing yoga for me. So I was looking for peace in my mind, looking for calmness, looking for a moment for myself to just be there without anything, without any exterior stimulation, without just breathing, just being by myself. And I realized that the only time of the day when I was able to do that was before my phone started ringing, so before everybody started to work. So I started waking up at 6 in the morning and going to a shala to practice. I started practicing Ashtanga yoga. So I started going to a shala 3 times a week, and so I was finished by the time people started to work, and they start calling and everything started moving around 9 in the morning, and just before that I was finished. And then when the phone started ringing, I was so happy, like I could answer. I was feeling
cool,
so
collected.
good,
Yeah.
so calm, so connected, so rooted. So I started doing this, and it worked very well.
Yeah.
So I had this just 2 hours for me just before anything happened, and it helped me a lot, even moving through my day and with all the stress and that I was into. It helped me a lot. So yes, and then here in Copenhagen,
Yeah, exactly.
I was teaching already dance again, and in my heart I think I was always a teacher.
Yeah, I think so too.
I really like to teach, and I really think I have my voice teaching. It's something really special coming from the heart. It's I don't know, well, you've been to my classes.
Yeah,
It's I cannot explain in words, but I really give all my heart out when I'm teaching. So
Yes,
for
you
me, and the yoga was such a passion, and it was doing wonders for me. It was doing so many good things for my life, for my relationship, for my physical body, for my mind. It even changed the way I eat and everything. It changed a lot in my life. So why not teach yoga? Why not connect these two passions together? And also I had all the background that I learned when I was studying dance in university. I've learned anatomy, biology, biochemistry, so all about the body development. So I really wanted to learn more about the yoga practice.
Yeah.
So I decided to do the teacher training. I did it here with a friend. And yes, it was amazing. For 1 month I was studying, practicing twice a day, meditating. We started at 7 in the morning until 7:30 in the evening.
Oh wow,
And I just came home to sleep, take care of my son and food and homework and all this kind of stuff. But it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, so maybe it's more just me thinking it. So how do you manage that? Because a teacher training is 1 month and it's the full day. You have a kid and a husband, and this was the first time, but the second time you also had number 2 kid and just gave birth to him 7 months ago.
Number 2 kid, number 2 teacher training.
Exactly, every time. Oh, this is the thing you do. Every time you get you have a child, you do a teacher training. Okay,
yeah.
but anyway, so because a lot of women out there may be sitting with something, but have children, and how do I do it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so how did
You can do everything, huh?
Oh, shoot. I love
It's
that.
really my belief. I think
Yeah.
you can do everything. If you just set yourself for that, you can do everything. Huh?
Yeah.
So in the first one was like, I mean, it's not so easy. Most of the people, when they fly somewhere to do a teacher training, they're just gonna jump and dive into it, and they don't do anything else. And of course, it's amazing, and it's better to do it if you can.
If you can,
you can just breathe and learn everything 24/7. And even when the training are finished, they all go out together. They go to eat. They have this hanging out, doing more friends and things like that, which is amazing.
Yeah.
You cannot do that if you have kids, like I had. I had to always run home because my husband was working. So after 5 o'clock in the evening, he was working. So at 7:30, I was running to the restaurant to pick my kid, to bring him home, doing dinner, doing homework and everything with him, putting him in bed. And then after that, I was studying because we had tests, we had to prepare classes, we had everything. So of course it was hard. But I was so in love with what I was learning. I really love to study, always have. Every time I get bored, I go do some training or something.
That's a good idea. Keep the mind fresh.
Yes, I love it. So I was so in love, and when you're doing something that you like, it comes from the heart, you're passionate about it, then the other things doesn't matter. Like now I just finished my second teacher training in Koh Samui. I did a 300-hour teacher training, so
on top
to be a 500-hour registered yoga teacher. And I was in the next island in Samui for 1 month, and I just had a 7-month-old baby. I was breastfeeding and everything, and I did it.
Yeah, and this is the thing, like, that's why she grabbed my attention when you were explaining this to me, because you've, so you have a husband here, he has a restaurant here, you have 2 kids, so you flew in your mom.
Yeah.
What else to do?
Yeah, my mom always comes in August normally to see us, so she just came, and she was with me in Samui. We've rented an apartment because we couldn't afford to stay in the site of the training. It was really expensive training. We did a huge effort so I was able to be in that training, and so she stayed with me and the baby. So my son, my eldest son, stayed here with my husband.
Oh,
he
he
was
did.
working,
Okay.
yes. So I stayed with the baby. So the training was starting at 7 in the morning until 7:30 in the evening, and I had 2 1-hour break only. One hour for breakfast, 1 hour for lunch. So in this 1 hour, I had to come home, breastfeed, shower, eat, and go back.
That could be a book.
It was like I was running the whole time, like arriving, going out. As soon as they say, okay, break time 1 hour, I was like running to the motorbike, drive to the place, go back, all that stuff. And on the top of that, I wasn't sleeping because he was waking up every 2 hours in the evening. So I was tired, of course, after. It was tiring, but I learned so much, and I had these amazing teachers that I really look upon, and I met all these amazing yogis. And I mean, to be able to be in a place where we can only breathe what you love. Wow, that's amazing, right? It's like I could if I had to sleep 3 hours a day, I would do it anyway, because I would do anything so I could just have this experience. And it was amazing. I learned so many things, and I came out with my heart full, and and so it was worth it, every minute of non-sleep and running.
Well, and you still look fabulous, and also even you because you just gave birth, and you just look amazing.
Thank you.
A lot.
I do a lot of yoga.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, yes
It does amazing things for people.
No, and you can also really feel it now. It's such a shift in the yoga practice, because now I've been practicing with you for, I don't know, 4 months or something, and I missed her so much. But anyway, so wow, so I think this is just so inspiring, because a lot of people make their children hold them back for actually living their dreams, and I think I mentioned that yesterday also. It's very important that we kind of also, that the parents are happy. We always think we want to give our children so much stuff and everything, and so they're happy, but they actually suffer when you're not happy. And this is the one of the thing I'm so amazed by you, because you really manage to fill your cup up and make yourself happy, and thereby by your children are happy.
Yeah, for sure. I don't believe in like this. If you want to give stuff to your kids and you try to make them happy, you will for 20 minutes, but after 20 minutes they're fed up with the toy or whatever, and this is not what makes them happy.
No.
So yes, it's very important to have a strong family.
Yeah.
I have an amazing husband.
Oh yes. Oh, we need that on camera again.
Yes, otherwise. He told me this morning, oh, I knew that bullshit. You were telling good things about me. Now it's not going to be again, right, in camera.
He is amazing. I met him yesterday.
He is, and I couldn't have done any of this without him. He is the most supportive person. I love him so much. He's been my support all my life since I met him.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to even change countries when I was just studying, when I was younger, and I never did it by myself. I couldn't do it.
No.
No, I was, I don't know, I was scared. I was afraid of being lonely. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was always very shy when I was young. Very, very, very shy. I was like an animal hiding under the tables. Yes.
Wait, what?
Yes.
And so, okay.
She didn't know that.
I didn't know that. No, because she's the funny thing, not the funny thing, the interesting thing about Marta is that when you speak with her, when you have lunch with her, she's loud and passionate and wild and fiery. And as soon as you go into her yoga class, it becomes this beautiful journey of peace and calmness, and you can hear it. Why did I just say that? No, I lost the.
No, it's okay, but it's actually funny that you talk about this because, as I told you already, everyone says that when I'm teaching, it's like I have someone that is coming, coming with me, or maybe something from a past life, or something that my voice completely changes, and my approach, and I feel that even as a teacher, it's so beautiful. I really feel like, I don't know, the energy just fills the room, and it's a shift in the energy, and it's beautiful. Imagine my family when they saw my first yoga class. They were like, "What is this? Who is this? Who are you?
What
happened to you?"
They must have been.
I don't know why it happens, but it's because when I teach dance, it's like whoa, power and stuff like that. When I teach yoga, I don't know. It's something shifts, and it's my approach to the practice, and it's like. It's healing me even when I'm teaching, because this is why I love so much to teach yoga, because even if I'm not practicing, I'm teaching, it's like the energy heals me anyway, and your energy and of the students, and that's why it's so amazing. So I really feel that, yes.
Yeah, no, it's just so beautiful. It's just amazing class. You have to
Yes, but I was really, really shy, as I was saying.
Oh yeah, that was the thing we came for.
So but really I suffered so much in my childhood, because I was the person that is hiding under the table, not to talk to people.
So how, because I was that too. I was this, next interview.
I can interview you.
Yeah, you can. Well, but so because this is exciting, because you're so confident when you go in front of the class, and then also now you're such a vibrant woman, and then you just been that small little.
Yes, so and I suffered so much. Really, it was. I remember I wanted to say things, and I thought in my mind, okay, I'm gonna say it. And I was counting like 1, 2, 3, and I couldn't, and I try again counting 1, 2, 3, and I couldn't, and it was this anxiety building in. And then when I was finally, people were talking about something else, and it didn't make sense to talk anymore, and I kept it all to me, and I suffered so much. And my son is like me; he's very shy also, and I suffer so much when I see it happening to him. Luckily, he's not so much as I was, but he still suffers with that shyness. But so I was like this all the time, and then things only shifted for me around when I was around really when I was around 18. But when I was 16, I changed school, because I've been in a private school from 4 years old until I was 15, more or less. And then I changed, and this was very important in my life, because I changed for a public school. Yeah. And then I got this boyfriend who was like the very beautiful guy from the school.
Oh, you got the...
Yes, and this is stupid, of course, but for me it was really important, because I didn't love myself. I didn't thought it was worth it. I didn't thought that any of the beautiful boys would actually look at me, because I thought I was not beautiful at all, and I didn't love myself. So the fact that it was someone interested in me, and it was the beautiful guy in the school, was like, wow. So we started dating. We were together for a long time.
Yeah.
So around, I don't know, 4 years together or something. And it really helped. It gave me confidence. It made me start looking at myself differently. And sometimes we need someone outside to look at us differently so we can change our mindset.
Yeah, I totally get you.
So this was very important. Then we had a rough breakup. It was hard because the relationship was not healthy at all in the end. It was really not healthy. I was almost apologizing for everything all the time. I don't know why. It was stupid. And then again, I got my freedom back. And then I started working when I was studying in the university, I started working as a bartender in a big discotheque.
I like that. That gives you confidence somehow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
after...
just going to move you a little bit in here so they don't... Sorry. Yeah, so you started...
in a discotheque as a bartender, and then after a while they invited me with another girl to be managing the place. So we started managing the place, and so suddenly I had to be there to say hi to people, dressed up and put makeup every day and all this kind of stuff. So I really had to grow up, and find confidence. And so this was like, I think, the episode that changed my confidence. And I started thinking, okay, if this happened to me, if they believe I can do it, so maybe I can.
I love that story.
That was the shifting, I think, to get my confidence.
I'm so shocked right now because we didn't talk about this, and actually it sounded like my life. The most handsome boy we got together when I was 15, and we broke up, and I was a waitress. I had to stand in front of people and tell the menu, and suddenly I became confident.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I love that story. Thank you so much. That is. No, I think every shy teenager should go into doing either waitressing or bartending or going into the service industry. Actually, it will kick your ass and give you some confidence. I have to.
It's true.
Just a little advice from us. Oh, so we could open up a bar. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, that totally took a turn here. So let me see. Back to Copenhagen a little bit, and so you got your confidence and everything, and you're now a yoga teacher, and let me just see, because I always have my little book here with questions. So now we're coming to the question round. I did this post on Facebook, so people could ask what they questions for, because what this is all about is because you do everything differently, and you had the not confident, you just conquered your fear and did it. So one question I want to ask you: how did you get over that fear? Doing something completely different to your friends and family and co-workers, and was there a fear at one point when you moved to Copenhagen and everything, or do you like just you? I know you said just to make the decision, but is there anything like?
Oh, I mean, as I said, I think the hardest part is to make the decision. When we decided, for me, it was just a matter of time. So how long do I have to still stay here until I go? Because now I want to go tomorrow, because I made the decision already. And with me, it's like this. When I put something in my head, I could not even sleep. I just want to do it. I just want to,
Oh, so you got all excited about it?
Yes, super excited. So the moment we decided to come, I just wanted to come next day, and I had to wait the whole year. This was hard.
Oh, I totally, completely, yeah.
It was hard. I just want to get things done. I did a PDF, I did everything, production, I did everything, and then I had to wait anyway. But of course, when you start again, of course there's a fear. Of course you know that something could go wrong. But again, as I said, I feel so much support in my family.
Yeah.
And if you get rid of your expectations, then this is what rules our lives, expectations. And when we have expectations, then we get disappointed, right?
That's true.
Because you're hoping on something, you're expecting this to happen. You put your expectations so high in your life, then probably you're not going to get so high with your expectations.
Yeah.
So my advice would be lose your expectations, let it go. And if you let go of your expectations, then whatever comes, it's a good thing, right? It's
Okay,
something
because
new. You're not expecting something.
I like that.
So this is actually what we did. We had the expectation of the resort, but then we let it go. We realized we don't have this money, and I'm so happy we did, because if we kept with that expectation, then we would be signing a contract for 10 years, and we will be losing our freedom.
Yeah.
So we let it go, and then we decided, okay, the restaurant. Then I went out of the restaurant and started teaching. So we're just kind of going with the flow and seeing what's happening. And the fear, what can happen? Go back to your country. That's the only thing that could happen, you know. Had to work for somebody else to get some money, or what is
So the biggest fear is actually the life you're already living.
Yes,
kind of. I said that to a client once, actually. She was actually, in the end we found out she was afraid of going back to where she already is.
Yeah.
So why not just take the loop and the journey and try it? If you,
nothing actually to lose. We come back to the same point where we talked before.
Yeah.
What do you have that you are afraid to lose?
Again, that is so true. Yeah, exactly.
Nothing. So just going and just risking and just taking the chance and stepping forward.
I think it's so amazing. It's just so inspiring. So how did you what does this traveling do to you? Like, how did it change you? Like, who were you before and who are you now, and what kind of happened in your...
It changed everything.
Yeah.
It changed everything. Because I didn't change only the place, but I changed what I do for a living. I changed everying, actually.
And
I
your
just
daily
didn't change
life.
my family.
No. Good. I'm happy with that.
Well, I'm a much more calmer person now, more relaxed. I'm vegetarian now. I changed the way I eat.
Yeah.
I changed my whole life. I mean, life here is very, very different than the life I had before, right? So I'm driving everywhere. I reach every place in 5 minutes. I just stop the motorbike in the place in front of where I go. I leave all the groceries in the bike and go somewhere else. Nobody takes anything. So my whole life changed. I always have kids in my house to play, because since everything is closed, we always take more kids home, or like 3, 4, and then, or he goes to somewhere else to play. So kids are also very happy here, and we have time. So the most important thing is that we have time.
And you see your children grow. Actually, you have time to watch them.
Yes, for sure.
This must be so
very,
beautiful.
very different.
Yeah.
With my first one, he went to school with 8 months, and so he would stay in school until 6 in the afternoon. From 9 in the morning, he was 8 months old. And so now here, he's not in school, he's with us. It's hard work, because a child 24/7 is hard.
Of course.
But I mean, you are able to see everything, every single movement, everything that he starts doing. You're just there all the time to see it and to be a part of it.
This is the thing. I think this is so amazing, because we just get children in Europe, and then it kind of when you have an everyday life, you deliver them around 7 to the kindergarten and wherever, and then you collect them again at 4, and then you have to cook dinner, and then they have to sleep. So who is actually educating your children or make them grow up, and who puts beliefs in them is actually the system and not really you.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And here it doesn't happen. It's completely different.
It's such a different thing.
They have school from 9 to 3 o'clock, and then they...
Okay, wow.
And then they play together with all their friends. They go to the resorts, to the beach, to whatever. They play football. They do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And they're really happy. So my life completely changed.
Yeah.
So no traffic also.
I love that. It's so quiet here.
I came to Portugal 2 years ago for Christmas, and it was the most terrible experience ever. I was traumatized.
It's a busy.
I mean, it was really bad because I went for Christmas, which is a very big, busy season in our country. And my son's birthday is on the 19th of December, so I had 19 December birthday.
Yeah.
Then 24, it's the day before Christmas that we had the Santa Claus is coming in the evening, blah, blah, blah. And then 25, you have the lunch for Christmas, dinner for Christmas. And then normally on the 26th, you have the friends Christmas. So I was there 2 weeks, I think. I was running the whole time, taking care of cards that are not working anymore, making new passports, all that kind of stuff that is not that is finishing, and buying presents for Christmas, and having to go to all these places that I had to go because it was this day and this day and this day.
Yeah.
And I had zero free time, and then I was like stuck in the traffic the whole time. I was in the house. It was like 10 minutes from my mother's house, and I was just saying, okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And then I was 1 hour in the traffic, and the house was just there, and it was like,
that can make me crazy. Wow.
There's not even lights. How do you call the traffic lights here on the island? There's no traffic lights. So
No.
There's no traffic lights.
No, there's actually not. No, because for what?
There's no traffic, right? So I was depressed, and I was so stressed.
Of course,
and
must have
was
been
traumatized about this. So
no happy Christmas.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I can move anywhere, but I couldn't live again in a big city with all the traffic. That would feel to me like going back a few steps of what I've achieved.
Yeah.
From changing
So
my life.
I still have some few questions for you, actually. Let me just see if we get one thing I really want to also make sure of that we get, because you have this beautiful, supportive, amazing husband. How important do you think it is? Like, I really want to make this clear, because I think a lot of partners just come together because they have this butterfly thing, but they never really get to talk about what their dreams actually is. So like, for instance, if you really love to travel, it will be really bad to have a husband or a boyfriend that hates it. You know what I mean? So tell me a little bit, how important has that been for you? Have you talked about it? Or?
Yeah, it's really important. I think that's why most of the couples split up. It's easier. It's hard work, huh? Relationship, it's hard work, of course. And it's always easier to just go out and shut the door and to go find butterflies somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
And those butterflies in the beginning, that everything is beautiful and all that. But it's also if you stay together and if you dream together, that you are able to reach so many good things in a relationship. You don't have the butterflies anymore after a while, it's true, of course, but you have so many other good things in the relationship.
Yeah.
And this is what happened to me. So we've grown together, and we make our dreams together. We dream together. We keep dreaming every day, and we talk about it, and we try to make our dreams come true, and so I think when people are dreaming about different stuff, they need to try to make a common dream for both of them, or you can follow one person's dream if the other one is not dreaming about the opposite. You get what I mean? So, like for example, we talked yesterday about somebody that really wants to move to a different country, and the husband, he really doesn't care, but he works in the computer. Then it would be okay because they can move. The husband can keep working in the computer, and they can move because it's her desire, whatever. That would work out. But if you are giving up your dreams for the other person, then later you're gonna throw it on their faces, because it's very hard. So I think it's you really need to find a dream, our dream together as a team. A relationship, you lovers, your friends, but you're also a team. And this team needs to work on everything, and how to build your life, how to build your family around your dreams together.
Yeah. No, that is very good. Yeah.
And for me, it's been like this, you know. My husband is super supportive. Everything I say, let's do this, and he's like, okay, let's do it. It's not because it's just because he loves me so much. He wants to see me happy,
Yeah.
and I love him so much. So we always try to get things to work.
Yeah. Instead of just giving up. Yeah.
Yes, instead of giving up, and just trying to build it up and talk about it and keep dreaming.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that it's a good point to make, because we so often get stuck in the everyday life, and we actually forget to talk about what actually excites us and what we love to do, and why sit in an expensive house somewhere when both want to travel, you know, and could be happy something. So yeah, I just really wanted to point that out.
But we both have this passion for travel, so
yeah, you
it's
have
kind of
that
helping.
But that is very important, I must say, because if you sacrifice your soul for another person, I think, of course, love is important, but you will just not be happy, and then
ending up the relationship anyway.
Yeah, because it's just not functioning.
True.
Let me see if I have everything. Do you have any advice to give to the women out there who wants to do something different? Like, do you have anything something that, you know, that how to figure out the dream, or if they're sitting like, because your flame was inside and said, I want to do something different. Anything advice on that? How can they?
I think you need to find something that makes you happy, and instead of thinking about earning money or doing a job, you need to figure out how to earn money doing what you like to do. So instead of being like the job, I have to go to my job. No, if you can manage to discover what you like to do, and you can make this a way of living instead of a job, then it would be perfect.
Yeah.
So my advice would be that just try to look and to your life and see, what are you happy doing? What makes you happy? And then how can you make a living from that? Of course, it's not possible for everything, but I think it's a good way to start.
I think so too. I got that advice from a very good friend also in Bali. She said, figure out what excites you, what you love to do, and what you want to create, what you want to have in your everyday life, and then you build your business, or you find a job that fits that, and not build a life around your job. Because then you end up like stressed and not happy. And you're getting sick from it as well.
For sure. It's everything connected. Huh? If your soul is closed and unhappy, then your body's going to be sick for sure.
Yeah, we see that so much in the Western world. No, I think we are done almost. So I have like 2 questions more for you. So what is happiness for you now?
Happiness for me now. Well, the thing that makes me more happy is my family, I told you about. So it's happiness for me is my family, is what we have built together, you know, just looking back and seeing that we are capable of doing all this by ourselves and from love. So that really makes me happy, and also to think that we can keep doing it and believing from the bottom of my heart that we are able to do anything that we want to from here. We just have an open book. Our life is now an open book, and we can write the story that we want. As long as we stick together and love each other, that anything is possible.
I love that.
That really makes me happy.
That makes me happy to hear that. Oh no, that is so true. That is. I like that you're saying that everything is possible, and here you're sitting, yoga teacher and 2 children, and that's why I admire you. You know, such a strong woman, and that you made it possible. That is fantastic.
Yoga makes me really happy too, because I needed to find some balance in my life when I started doing yoga.
Yeah.
And I really get it, this peace in my heart and in my mind when I do yoga. And actually my husband sometimes, when I'm a little bit grumpy, he said, you didn't practice today already, did you? And I'm like, no, yeah, I see.
Go on the mat. Come on.
And it's true. It's completely true, because I go to the mat and I sweat and I just do my thing. I keep my movement and breath, and it's like, for me, yoga is a moving meditation. It's I'm meditating, I'm moving and connecting to the breath, and my mind stays completely clean. And by the end of it, I feel new. I feel renewed. I feel like I've burned all my toxins out, not only my physical toxins, but my mind toxins, you know, my fears, my insecurities, everything is like coming out through my sweat, through my practice, and then I feel energized and clean and in peace. So yoga really, really makes me happy too.
Yeah, I totally get it, because I was so grumpy this morning because in the first interview it didn't work for me with you, because the sound didn't work, and I came to your class, I had a headache, and after a class with you I was just like, doesn't matter everything, we just do it again. So yeah, and this is, I'm so happy you just mentioned that, because also I think there's a misperception about yoga now. It's become such a modern thing, and we talked a little bit yesterday also that because you really think it's presented in the Western world like it's workout and you get the best yoga body and everything, and it's just all about exercise. But I don't see yoga as that. But again, you just explained it beautiful. But what would you say to them out there? Because it's
I don't think like if you want to have a nice booty, you're gonna go to the gym and do squats. You're not gonna go and do yoga. I mean, you're gonna, of course, the body you will get better with yoga, but it's a much deeper better than your butt or something like that. So you're actually gonna clean your body, you're gonna start energizing, you're gonna do a lot of stuff with your body, but it's not like you're gonna do it for 3 weeks and get a butt for the summer, like we normally say. So it's much more than that. Yoga, this is like a common thing to say, yoga is gonna change your life, but it's true. Well, it happened to me, because when you start practicing yoga, you start feeling so much better. You're gonna rethink everything in your life.
Yeah.
I changed my way of eating. I've changed my way of sitting. I've changed my way of moving, or also to relate to people. Your anger, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You are more connected, because the yoga is connecting your body and your mind and your soul. So it's true, in your heart and your breath and all this is becoming one.
Yeah.
And normally we are not aware of that. We're just walking around, our heart is beating in one direction, our breath is or whatever, because we are stressed, and we are not connecting anything. And it's just when you go to the mat and you have this hour and a half to connect that you realize that. And I talk a lot about that in my classes. Like, listen to your heartbeat, listen to your breath. How are you today? How are you feeling today? How is your breath? How is your heartbeat? And many times when you get this awareness of yourself, then you can change. Then you can try, if you want it to change and to be different, you can do it, because you know what is happening with your body. But most of the times you don't listen to yourself. You don't listen to your body. You're not aware of anything. You're just moving around doing your stuff and what you have to do, and then go to bed and sleep, and then eat because you're hungry, and then do your stuff, and then go back to sleep, and then it's day by day.
And the same,
You're not improving your connection with your mind, with anything. You're just going through stuff that you have to do.
Yeah.
And yoga for me is that. And you start being aware, you start connecting, being aware of your physical body, but also being aware of your mind, of your thoughts, of your breath, of your heartbeat, and all this can help you with your job, with your relationships, with your food, with your health in general. And getting you the strength and the power to chase your dreams. So I think it's really a life changer. It's not bullshit. It's not just like really, because it's a common, yoga changed my life, haha, but it's true. For me, it's completely true. Because connecting, if you are more connected and more rooted, then only good things can come from it, right?
Exactly, and it seems like it's a domino effect. Like you're starting because sometimes it's like, where do I start? I just feel so fucked up, stressed, and I'm so unhappy. And so if you're actually going and starting on the mat and starting with yoga, you can break the circle, because it seems
Exactly.
like then you start with food, then the food comes,
Yes,
and then
because you're tired, you're angry,
Yeah.
you eat junk food because
Yeah.
you're tired and you're angry, then you're bloated, you don't feel good, you sleep bad, so
Yeah.
you wake up grumpy, so it's everything, it's like a domino
vicious-
effect, like you
yeah,
said. I like
yeah.
that idea, it's really nice. And yes, and you can break it, you can totally break it in yoga. And in the beginning, you will just go to a class, you find a teacher that you connect with. This is so important.
Very important.
It's really important,
Yeah.
because if you don't connect to the teacher, you just go there and do your stuff and go back, then it's not gonna happen. You really need
So
to
true.
connect and to open yourself to what's happening and to all the changes that can come from your teacher and from your yoga practice.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you will hopefully be interested in having your own practice and finding your own way of moving. And even if it's just like 10 minutes a day when you wake up, doing just a small meditation or
Look at
something,
you when you're talking. Yeah. Yeah.
you can you can really find your own way of breathing your yoga practice. And this is so important. I mean, for me, as a teacher, I really want the people to find their own way of breathing yoga, and
Yeah.
not just being there doing what I say, or I want them to be deeper into the practice than I am. I want them I want to encourage them to go deeper and deeper in their path, in their practice, and to grow as a person and
Yeah.
as a yogi. So yes.
Yeah, we get that also from her teachings. And when we have a class, when I have a class with you, you always often let us do it by ourselves. You show us the sequence, and then we have to do it by ourselves. So I like that you're kind of trying to give us a yoga practice we can take home.
Yes, and
Because-
maybe finally one day feeling confident to do the self-practice, which
Yeah.
is the ultimate goal of every yogi.
Yeah, no, I should think everybody should do that. Yeah, no, beautiful. Thank you for kind of let us in, because it's nice to hear the soul of it instead of just the muscle stuff of it. So one more question is that it's not a question. Anything I forgot to ask you, and something you kind of have sitting with and you wanna say anymore, or did we cover it all? Do we have some good juicy after something, something?
Well, I don't know. I think everybody should chase their happiness.
Yeah.
And it's not so hard as it seems. I mean, there's a lot of people with big problems, and I'm talking really about big problems like health problems, or really
Hunger,
yes.
no food, all
Yes,
that stuff.
and that's
yeah.
true that, of course, it's not like everybody can just decide, now I'm just gonna go and change everything. They have to support their families. There's people for whom it would be hard to change, but for most of the people, it's just fear. It's just
Yeah.
fear of losing what they have. But then again, my advice would be, think on what you have and what are you losing, what are you giving up. If you're not happy, I'm sure that you're not giving up much. and what can happen is just good things can come from it. It's just gonna get better.
Yeah, it does.
And if you have to go back to your old life after, at least you will have a story to tell.
Exactly, and something, and a seed is born. Maybe you then have to go back for 6 months and do the same stuff again, but you definitely change something in your soul, and that will make you.
And you prove yourself you could do it. And the
Exactly.
hardest thing is to do it the first time. If you do it one time, and even if it doesn't go as well as you thought, and if you have to come back, then the second time would be so much easier, because you know already that you can do it. You have the seed in your heart, you feel powerful, you know that you can, and something happened, it was not so good, but next time will be, so you can try again.
Talking
And-
about yoga,
Yes.
it's so similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just need to go for it.
Yeah, Cool. I like that. So, Marta, I want to close up now, but there's so many things happening in your life now. So you're going to Portugal next week. I'm all.
Not next week, after tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's why. Oh, see, okay. It's just because I don't want her to leave. But so there's a yoga festival. You're leaving on to Saturday, but you're gonna explain everything, and then you have a yoga retreat in
yes.
Bali. In Bali. so yeah, and also just let them know where they can find you if they want, because you do some beautiful Instagram account you have too, and I'm gonna link it also below, but just like if they cannot wait,
Okay. So my Instagram account is Marta_Yoga Dance Love, and also in Facebook Marta Yoga Dance Love. And I will be in Portugal. I will teach a full day workshops on the 5th of October. We have a masterclass, an opening heart masterclass, and then we will have an inversions workshop. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to work in partners, learning how to turn our world upside down and building strength and confidence to do it.
I want to come.
I will do it here after too.
Okay, good.
And on the 8th, I'm going to be in the Wanderlust Festival. It's an amazing American festival that is happening on the States for 10 years already. They're moving to Europe now. So I'm super proud to be there. I will fly to teach there and to teach the workshops. Then I will come here for 2 weeks, and then I will go to Bali. I have an opening heart retreat in Bali, in Ubud, in the Bagus Jetty Wellness Center, which is this beautiful place with some natural waterfalls and it's amazing.
Oh.
The spa and the circular shala in the middle of the nature is beautiful. Very nice.
Wow.
And we have a program with yoga, meditation, we have dance meditation, we have movement therapy, we have fire circles, we have a lot of stuff, sharing. It's a life transformational experience, not only yoga. We will really connect with the group and do a lot of activities together, a lot of sharing, a lot of cleaning the body and the hearts, and opening ourselves to receive what the universe has to offer.
I love that. Is it only for women or also for men?
No, it's for until now we only have women.
Yeah.
But yes, it's open for everybody. All levels also.
So yeah, and you can find all the details. I will, like I said, I linked them below, so you can go in and have a look. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for doing it once again.
Yes, it's different from the one yesterday. It's always different when you.
Yeah, but I think we did awesome again. No, it was so inspiring to have you here, and many beautiful tips on how to do it different, and I loved it. Thank you so much, honey.
Thank you.
And yeah, see you next time, and thank you so much, and give us a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to the YouTube list, so you can always get the newest interviews with those fabulous women from all over the world.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.